We just ended the retreat. We'll now be starting the special meeting of the Board of Education for August 19th, 2025. It is now called to order. All items being considered this evening are posted on the PPS website under the Board of Meetings tab. This meeting is being streamed live on PPS TV Services website and on Channel 28. It will be replayed throughout the next 2 weeks. Please check the district website for replay times. Good evening and welcome. Tonight's special meeting is to vote on a consent agenda. Please let me know if there's any objections. Otherwise, we will move straight to the vote on this item.
I had something I wanted to check, and I'm like clicking through her. One of the contracts, was it for $1 million? I don't know if I'm right, but I just generally, do you remember which one? I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's the CAF one, the taxi.
Oh, the radio cap.
And was that one, sorry, like now, I didn't do my homework on that. Does that one go back out for RFP every year, or is it one of the ones that auto renews? Looking.
That was the transportation, I'm looking for it too. Next towards radio cap. It is 96870S.
Of course, you get that.
And one thing, I don't want to interrupt, but I have a rough
No, go
question
ahead.
when you're done.
Go ahead.
You've had such a casual environment, it's like, oh, right, this is from.
No, please.
Director before, excuse me. One thing that we've maybe picked up on recently is that when this contract term column says option to renew, that doesn't mean that you all can skip procurement, it means you can skip us, it sounds like. So I just also want to make sure that everyone knows when you see that contract term of option to renew, that means that for the next however many years it says there, they wouldn't have to come to us to get, it sounds like a change perhaps that now when you see that language there, or maybe it's always been that way, but.
May I clarify?
Yeah, sure.
It means the contract might be renewed, but the total amount that you're approving, it cannot go above that without coming back to you. So in this hypothetical of $1 million contract, it can't be another $1 million without coming back to you. I'm
It
not
has
sure.
to be under that 1 million, that initial one.
Exactly. If you approve $1 million, the district can spend.
And this
up
one
to $1
doesn't
million.
have that language for what it's worth. But I'm just reminding us all, because I had seen that language in the past and assumed we would still see it, it just would skip procurement. But it sounds like it would both skip procurement and skip us for those ones that say option to renew.
It's not gonna skip you. That's what I'm trying to clarify. If it can't skip you if it's over $150,000. It will come.
So I
Even a
will,
renewal.
we do not need to talk about this tonight, but we really need to figure out why a bunch of the personal services contracts that were supposed to come in June just skipped us. Because we got told they skipped us because they had that language in this column. So we can talk about that.
I'm happy to, I have no information other than the.
Yeah, there's like a packet we usually do in this document that are personal service contracts, and we did not see them and got told they auto renewed because of that language. So. More to come. But yeah, it is the radio captain.
Okay, thank you. Because that's where I was
Please have
headed,
it.
so.
I just wanted to make a quick comment about some of our translation services that most of them aren't local, and I know that we have translation services locally, and I would just like to see some local spending when we can. Priority to.
Can I just go back to the other one? I just want to clarify that the transportation ones that you see, I know that there isn't a question, but they're spend up contracts, meaning up to $1 million. They're still the low bid process, and they're for our students who are identified as McKinney-Vento, homeless, for our students with IEPs that need specialized transportation. But that doesn't mean that $1 million in transportation is going to be spent. And I think you all know that we're reimbursed at the state level 70% on transportation, so we pay 30%. And we're working hard to bring those costs down and exploring a variety of different options.
My concern about, so what Christy was talking about would be if they keep auto renewing, that we're not sending out an RFP regularly, when I think there were some that came in the last backup that were like, number 11 or something like that. So I think that might be something for an upcoming meeting that we discuss.
So you're talking about the ResJ contracts
Yeah.
And we can clarify what happened with that at another meeting. But for this would be something that we would bring for every year.
So one it says, option to renew for up to 3 additional 1-year terms. Will that come up again next year for additional 2-year terms? Like for the personal services hourly?
For the translation, yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna turn to,
I'm not sure which one she's looking at, but she's looking at this.
The first hourly.
So yeah, it says it may be renewed for another year,
No,
but the
just,
amount
so-
still, if it exceeds that spend up to not, will come back.
So total all renewals, that's 4 years.
so
So next year will come again.
This call
It
here.
will come.
I already said before.
It will come.
this
No,
one's
I think
was traps.
3 more.
Can I suggest that we
I think
have
we-
put this an agenda item for a
Sure.
future board meeting
Yes.
where we can talk and have somebody who, some of our staff who are experts on this, so that people aren't just guessing, and we can go through and talk about contracts and procurement and all of that, have that be an item for a conversation.
And she's
at a
come
work
before the
session.
board before and she does a great job and so, yeah.
Perfect.
and just to
That-
follow up and say that we wouldn't guess in a public meeting on some items. But I do agree that it would be great to be able to bring some staff before you that has some experience and around some of the things that you all are asking.
Because I'm sure that's what really and decided. But when you're just saying yes, then it's all this money and you don't really know how it's figured. It would be nice.
Yeah, and I think this will probably bring in procurement and maybe Michelle Morrison. Some of the decisions on the way in which it is set up isn't necessarily with the person who's listed on here as the responsible person. It could be, because it's something that's going to happen over the next several years, but even if that is the case, we still have to put what that total amount is and all of that, so.
Thank you.
Which is what brings it before you. So just to be
Yeah,
clear, right?
yes.
So the original term, the 60,000, that wouldn't necessarily be something that you would approve, but if we're saying like through August 2029, just looking at one of the translation services one, through all those renewals, it then brings the amount up to 240,000, which is why it's on the board agenda. So that would be one that you wouldn't see again because you're saying like, hey, I know that then for the next, 4 years,
Yes,
this is the amount that would be covered. And then seeing what that annual amount is of 60,000 for the couple of different translation service companies.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, as I understand it, if it's less than 150, it doesn't come before us anyway, so tell me what the benefit is. Because if it was just 60 renewing every year, you're not bringing it to us anyway, you're just doing it. So what is the benefit to you or to us to doing it this way, where we're seeing something that's gonna auto-renew that obviously is triggering some, it's new, everybody, why this way, why not just,
Yeah.
you do it independently for 60,000 and we never see it? Is it a transparency, is it what is it?
It's typically a cost saving strategy, so some companies will say, hey, if you make a 3-year commitment or 4-year commitment, we'll be able to lock you in at this particular
Yeah.
price, as opposed to what it would be if you just do it annually. So it brings in some guarantee, and I know for the team, just because of our budget reduction and the climate we're in, I think we're at a place where we don't have binding contracts. I'm looking over at my chief of comms, who is the responsible person for this. Meaning that if after year 3 or year 2, we decide that service didn't meet our needs, we would be able to cancel and we will even touch the 240. But do you know offhand if they're binding or non-binding?
this is from the.
Translations or? Yeah, so that.
Okay, so there's sort of one-way binding, because you get to renew it at that locked-in rate, but they're not binding to us to renew if we decide not to.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
So
Heather?
moved.
Well, my first question is to make sure, is there anything on the consent agenda that any board member would like to have, to move off the consent agenda for a separate vote? No? All right, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Director Split moves and pass, right? Seconds, the adoption of the consent agenda? I forgot to ask, was there any changes to consent agenda?
Yes, resolution 7163 was revised earlier today to exclude the minutes from August 5th, because they weren't posted in time. So it only includes the July 22nd minutes.
All right, everyone noted? Concerns? Great, any discussion? Not that would be my
I was gonna say.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate Director DePass's insight that shopping locally is always a good idea so I like that and I hope we continue to do that.
Thank you. It's a big, strong value of mine as well, so.
Yeah.
Great. The board will now vote on resolution 7162 through 7163. All in favor, please indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All opposed? Abstentions? All right, the consent agenda as amended is approved by a vote of 7-0. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for being inside on a beautiful day. This meeting is adjourned. The next regular meeting of the board will take place September 20th.